Hey guys, I wanted to do a comparison of the Nextool Flagship Pro with the Nextool Mini Flagship here to the right. And it's natural to compare these two because this is the younger brother of the Flagship Pro, which is one of my favorite multi-tools out there. So let's go through, look at the similarities, look at the differences. And big difference, of course, you can see is the size. Flagship Pro is more than twice the size, probably 3 times the size if you count in all the bulk in there compared to the Mini Flagship. They are designed for different things. You know, the Flagship Pro is more for heavier jobs, whereas if you've got the Mini Flagship here, it's more lighter jobs, things around the house. You're not going to want to be applying too much torque or too much force on these, otherwise they're just going to break. So let's have a look at some of the main similarity, I guess. These scissors, I absolutely love these large pair of scissors that you get on the Flagship Pro and the Flagship Mini Flagship. Okay, they are just so useful. And for someone like me who uses these tools for kind of arts and crafts, even if you're outside, maybe doing some foraging, you know, gathering some leaves and stuff like that, maybe cutting some stems, you know, these are just fantastic. I mean, if you compare it to something like this here that you get on all your standard multi-tools, you know, tiny little pair of scissors, you know, that's just barely going to get the job done for many sort of things. You can't, you know, got these tiny little handles where we're using your thumb to apply pressure, whereas this here you can get your whole hand around them. So can't stress the importance of that enough. I absolutely love this design. Okay, and it's just so easy to deploy, to stow away as well. Now, one of the disadvantages or the funny points is that once you open it up, the arms are asymmetrical, as you can see. So it does make it a little bit awkward to use, especially on the smaller version. On the larger Flagship Pro, I can't really tell the difference between using these and another pair of pliers. It does feel a little bit more weighted on the right hand side, obviously. Okay, but the great thing about both of these tools is that they have outward opening. Pretty much everything else is outward opening, so besides the pliers. So let's have a look at the Flagship Pro. You know, you've got your main sort of blade there, and you know, it's also they're both skeletized, so it's easy to find whichever tool you need. Okay, and look at the difference in length of these blades. This one's like 8 centimeters. This one is like 4 and a bit centimeters. So it's basically half the size, half the width as well. And again, just like I said, it's more for light jobs rather than anything serious. Let's have a look. We'll close this one up and close this one up as well. Oh, another big difference, of course, is the locking mechanism. There's no locking mechanism on the smaller tools. So if you have that blade open, you really have to be careful that when you are cutting on a bit of an angle, okay, that the blade doesn't close in on you, right? But that's pretty stock standard on smaller multi-tools. Now this one, as you can see, it's got a locking mechanism. So if I try to push it shut, you know, all good. You've got to actually press down on that lock to close it. You know, on the other side, got a wood saw. Don't have that on the Flagship, the Mini Flagship. Instead, you have a little file, okay, metal file, and it also doubles as a flathead screwdriver. And for the most part, it doesn't make sense to put a wood saw in a small, you know, small multi-tool like this, because you know, what are you going to really cut with it? Maybe a hacksaw, I think, would have been a good implementation. Just turn that edge into a hacksaw. Okay, and we can move over to the other side. Let's see what else is included. Now there are a few little tools. Have a look. Yeah, over here there's a few little screwdrivers and things like that. Let's pull these out. So you got a flathead screwdriver and a bottle opener. Got a can opener probably. Yep, can opener there. You've got a Phillips head screwdriver and a cutting hook. Not sure where you'd use that, or maybe cutting some fishing line. Yeah, I suppose that would be a good use of it rather than taking out that blade. Okay. When you have a look at the Mini Flagship, there's smaller assortment of tools, but you've got the basics here. So you've got the can opener, got a bottle opener there. All right. Got a little keyring attachment, of course, as well. Got another Phillips head screwdriver. These are fairly long as well, so they'll be able to get into those sort of longer drill holes. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Okay, don't have any of these fancier sort of bits and pieces like this cutting hook here. Oh, there is also, it looks to be a wire stripper. Something I just forgot to mention, I thought I'll go through quickly as well, is the differences in the pliers. So, you know, having a look here, these pliers, the little cutting edge here, are replaceable, these wire cutters, okay? Got this same needle nose pliers up the top, normal pliers down the center. You also see that the edge, right at the tip of this, of the smaller version, it has sort of flat edge. So if you're playing around with jewelry, that kind of thing, you don't want to scratch whatever you're bending, these are probably a good option. Whereas these little ridges run all the way to the tip. Okay. Now you've also got here a little wire stripper right underneath. Can you see it? Just underneath in there, little wire stripper. And yeah, nothing like that on the other smaller version. I just tend to get away with using those wire cutters really, really gently, and I can strip wire with them. In terms of which one I would get, very difficult to say because both of them have different uses. So, you know, you've got the Flagship Pro here to the left, which is more for heavier jobs. It's going to be more durable. Look, there's even a ruler there, which I didn't talk about before. But yeah, larger, more complex jobs, more heavy duty kind of tasks as well. Whereas this one here, more light tasks. And remember, carrying this around is going to be so much easier than carrying this thing around. And for that reason, I tend to actually grab these smaller tools. It's kind of like flashlights. You know, I just grab the smallest, sort of powerful light that I have on me. And it's the same thing with these multi-tools. And I really like the durability, how Nextorch have just carried over. I really like the durability and how Nextool have just carried over that same stainless steel design as well on the outside. So it's very durable. It doesn't have any of that aluminium exterior that you find on a lot of multi-tools. So yeah, heavy duty, light duty tasks. Of course, there's going to be sacrifices in each. So yeah, if you want something just small to carry around for those emergencies, little tasks, the best tool is the one that you have on you. So if you can't hack sort of carrying around a larger one like this, you know, this one is definitely the winner. But overall performer, I mean, you can't compete with the Flagship Pro.